So welcome to the Day with Friday. My name is Baga Shugim. I'm the CEO of Scalefree, and we run this session here every Friday at 11 o'clock to allow you, the audience, to ask questions about data vaults, data mining, any data-driven applications, cloud computing. Typically, I have my MVP customer left. Today, there's something different. With me here is Julie from Ignition Data from Australia, who is a partner in Australia, well, who's a partner where we work a lot with Scalefree. And he's on a little roadshow, I'd say, to visiting partners. And yeah, we have him to be here. Why?
Yeah, so thanks for having me. So yeah, obviously we're based in Australia, but I'm traveling around the entire world. I'm actually checking to make sure there's a sphere, is not flat disk. But basically because we've developed the IRiS data vault automation tool, and so it's now ready for consumption. And so obviously we're partnered with you guys and a number of other partners, in different regions. And so I'm going and seeing everyone, and I'm doing webinars and sessions like this, and just promoting and getting the knowledge that it's available, that it's out there around as much as possible. So global IRiS tour.
So tell me more about the IRiS. What's IRiS all about? What's the difference?
Yeah, so I mean, there's obviously plenty of data vault automation offerings out there already, and our concept, I guess, was, because of the data vault trainers in our region of the world, was a couple of key things. Was how do we make it really easy for people to do the data engineering aspects? So it's really focused on the engineering tasks, not on the modeling tasks, and trying to make that such a simple process that anyone can learn it in less than a day. Yeah. It's repeatable, it's incremental, and essentially make that a BAU task. Make that the sort of thing that you can give to maybe your junior team, that they're following the same process every time. The user interface is really intuitive, and remove some of the pain that's involved in doing those data engineering tasks with building raw business file. And we did that because we saw so many people kind of getting a little bit off track, making mistakes, or the learning curve for some of the automation tools being quite steep and hard, and then knowledge transfer from an experienced user to a new user was really hard, and and that sort of stuff. So we've tried to solve a bunch of those problems. So our philosophy was really, how do we do that? How do we make it easy? And then how do we make it small? Because the approach that most data vault automation tools are taking is to build a data management platform, and that makes sense. It needs to connect to sources, do the modeling, do the code development, then manage version control, managing scheduling, even our control frameworks for running the actual production warehouse. And that's great if you're a greenfield. Yeah, but a lot of our customers, especially in Australia and New Zealand, have already decided they're using one of the cloud platforms. They may have decided to use Microsoft Data Factory or AWS Blue and that stack, or Talent or Tillion, and now 1,000 of them. They've already built up teams with skills and knowledge in those tools, but those tools don't have data vault automation. Yeah, so we've got, how do we build something that can augment those platforms with data vault automation without disrupting everything else they've already established?
So the focus is really on target platform, target technologies.
Yeah, so we've gone with a really soft integration. So we require a small amount of metadata to come into IRiS. Yeah, really simple. Like you can pull the metadata that IRiS needs out of any modeling tool, no problem. So there's no modeling interface in IRiS at all. It just takes whatever model that you've created. So if it's Flow BI, or if it's Irwin or SQL DBM or any of these tools on the open source ones, very easy to get that metadata out. Feed that to IRiS. IRiS does your code generation and give you your stored procedures out of DDRs, and then your platform, as long as they can pick up a stored procedure and schedule it.
So the scaling must also be done by the target platform, not done by IRiS, right?
That's true. Yeah, that's right. And so scheduling and version control and everything, put the code that IRiS produces into your GitHub, schedule it with your enterprise platform. Supports Databricks, Snowflake, and the Microsoft tools, Synapse and Microsoft Fabric. And so that's probably the limitation, is data 3 that we support from a target warehouse perspective. But we think it fits really well in an organization wants to kind of go down this lake house road. Lots of data in the lake, but they want to move data into the lake house incrementally based on a use case, value-driven design and value-driven delivery. So it becomes an incremental stack. IRiS actually, you match source tables to the target model, to your data vault model, one source table at a time in IRiS. So you do the tables that you need today to deliver today's use case. So it's a really lightweight tool. It's inexpensive. It's easy. It's a single container, very easy to get access to and download. And we're going through the process, putting it all marketplaces and everything in the moment. That's all.
Yeah, I know they're doing more. Yeah. So it's a very lean tool, lightweight tool, a small container, not much learn curve.
We learn curves. It's getting old. Yeah. So I mean, obviously, it expects someone to be able to model data well, and I think that's every automation tool needs that. But there is an online training program that's about 6 hours of videos. Yeah. So you can learn IRiS in a day. Yeah. Cool. And so that helps with the knowledge transfer to new users and those sorts of things. Very easy for someone to pick up some of the work in it already done and make adjustments. So it supports change really easily as well. Yep. But it also has a playbook, which I kind of describe the playbook as being kind of a blend between Data Vault methodology and user, the user guide. Yep. We're reinforcing the learning that people would get from the Data Vault training and showing them how to do that in IRiS. So they've got that's all comes free when you get a license of IRiS. Get access to the knowledge hub, and you get the training course and playbooks and series of tips and tricks. And there's an online community there to chat with if you happen to get stuck. So it really is about reinforcing knowledge, making the learning curve start, and making the act of doing Data Vault engineering simple. Yeah. But yeah, it's very different in that it's not trying to be a production platform. There's no part of IRiS gets deployed to production at all. So it's actually quite easy to approve if you're the customer, because you don't need, you're not putting anything into your production environment. So security and architectural concerns are a lot lower. Yeah. And from a price point perspective, it's very easy. And in a big team, if you've got a team of Kenny, for instance, you might not license a couple of people with IRiS because they're the ones doing the data vault engineering.
Yeah. So it's really, I like different tools. It's really a lead approach.
Yeah, like it is. It's migrate and lean in different times. But yeah, we just tried to do something that would help where we sort of get in kind of often tracked, at least in our part of the world. And we've had a really good response. Everyone I talk to about this seems to get, this fits. Yeah, especially if the organization's invested heavily in some of the big cloud platforms. They've already built skills and stuff. They don't want to move away from that, and to take on something that, where there's a lot of overlapping capability of things that they already have to things that they now need to buy. So for that scenario, that's cool.
Yeah, very nice. All right. Different session today. Where are you next, of course?
So I'm heading to Finland on the weekend to catch up with the Wise Digi guys are a fan. And then off over to the US, I'm meeting Dan and Cindy from DBA early next week. And then on to Milwaukee to see the Spin Rivers guys.
So you're really gone around the globe. It's the globe, we don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's that. So I flew west from Australia to Doha and then to London, doing Europe and then around to the US, and I'll eventually get home mid-February. Yeah, the long trip. Very cool.
Nice. Very cool. Yeah, thanks for having us.
It's an absolute pleasure. I love working with you guys and being part of this. So thanks for the opportunity.
All right. Thanks for joining. Next time we go back to our typical schedule with a special, right? So a little different session later. Thanks. Thank you guys. Have a nice weekend.